3 houses on my street have brown lawns right now. Not yellow brown, not summer tan brown, ash brown, dead brown. And every single owner did the exact same thing 2 weeks ago that killed them. They saw the grass looking stressed in the July heat, panicked, and threw down a bag of fertilizer from the hardware store on Elm Street, thinking it would save them. It didn't save them. It's what killed them. I want you to remember that sentence for the next 10 minutes, because if you've already fed your lawn once this month, or you're planning to this weekend, what I'm about to tell you might be the only thing standing between your yard and theirs. Here's the part that made me genuinely angry when I first figured it out. 20-some years ago now. The big lawn care companies, the trucks that show up every 6 weeks whether you called them or not, know exactly what nitrogen does to grass roots during a heat spell above 85 degrees. It's in their own agronomy training manuals, and they sell you the summer feeding anyway, because a green lawn today and a dead lawn in 3 weeks still means 2 separate service calls, 2 separate invoices, and you blaming the weather instead of the bag. For most of my life, I believed grass worked like a person. Feed it more, it gets stronger. That's backwards, and here's the actual mechanism, because I want you to understand this, not just believe me. Nitrogen fertilizer forces a grass plant to push new leaf growth immediately. That takes water. In cool spring weather, the soil has water to spare, so the plant handles it fine. In late July, when soil temperatures at 2 inches deep are already sitting near 90 degrees, and the root zone is bone dry, forcing new leaf growth is like asking a person running a fever to go run a mile. In late July, when soil temperatures at 2 inches deep are already sitting near 90 degrees and the root zone is bone dry, forcing new leaf growth is like asking a person running a fever to go run a mile. The plant burns through what little reserve moisture it has left just to grow the leaf tissue the fertilizer demanded. And within 10 to 14 days, you watch the whole blade go from green to straw to ash. A turfgrass study out of Purdue's Department of Agronomy found lawns fertilized with high nitrogen blends during periods of soil moisture stress lost root mass nearly twice as fast as unfertilized control plots in the same conditions. You didn't starve your lawn this year, you worked it to death. I learned this the hard way in July of 2003 on my own front lawn, not somebody else's. Fed it exactly like the bag told me to, 1 application, 4 weeks after the last one. 14 days later, I had a dead strip running the entire length of my driveway, shaped almost exactly like where the spreader had made its second pass, doubling up the dose. I called the county extension office in a state I'm not proud of, and the agronomist there, a woman named Carol, who'd been doing this since the Carter administration, told me something I never forgot. She said, "You didn't feed a hungry lawn, you fed a thirsty one, and thirst doesn't want nitrogen, it wants water and patience." That sentence rearranged how I thought about every plant I've grown since. So here is exactly what to do instead, starting today. Because July isn't finished with your lawn yet, and there's still time to reverse this if you act before the month ends. First, stop feeding. If you've already fertilized once this month, do not apply again for a minimum of 6 weeks, no matter how tempting a second bag looks. Let the root system recover before you ask it to grow anything new. Second, water deep, not often. 15 minutes of sprinkler time every evening trains roots to stay shallow, right where the heat can reach them. Instead, run it for 45 minutes to an hour, twice a week, early morning between 5 and 7 a.m., before evaporation steals half of it. This pushes roots down 4 to 6 inches into cooler, more stable soil instead of leaving them in the top inch where July cooks them alive. Third, raise your mower deck to 3.5 inches, no lower. Every extra half inch of blade height means more leaf surface shading the soil underneath, which can drop soil temperature at the root zone by close to 10 degrees on a hot afternoon. Cutting short in July feels tidy. It's actually removing the exact shade canopy your grass built to protect its own roots. Fourth, and this is the one nobody mentions, if you genuinely need to feed a stressed lawn in summer, use iron, not nitrogen. A chelated iron supplement greens up the blade color within 48 to 72 hours without forcing new growth the roots can't support. It's the difference between giving a dehydrated person water versus handing them a plate of food they don't have the energy to digest. Here's where people undo all of this in one afternoon. They see the lawn responding, watering deep, mower deck raised, greening up nicely by week 2. And they get impatient and throw down fertilizer anyway, because 2 weeks of patience feels like forever when you're staring at a yellow patch every morning. Don't. The root system needs closer to 6 weeks of recovery time before it can handle a nitrogen load again. And every one of those 3 brown lawns on my street belongs to someone who couldn't wait the full 6 weeks last year either. Carol retired from that extension office years ago, but I still think about what she told me every single July, standing on that dead strip of my own driveway. Your lawn isn't hungry in the heat. It's exhausted. And almost everything we're taught to do for something exhausted, push harder, feed it more, force the result, is exactly backwards. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for something struggling is nothing at all. Just water and shade and the patience to wait 6 weeks instead of 2. Look at your lawn tonight before the sun goes down. If it's still green, you have time to save it before July closes out. If it's already gone the color of ash, you'll know exactly which mistake got you there, and exactly which one not to make again next year.